Hi, this is Jessica Bowman from PubCon Las Vegas, and I have Shahid Awan from cheapflights.com. Now, Shahid, you and I met when you were at hotels.com.
That's right.
And you left about a year ago to join Cheap Flights.
That's right.
And so one of my questions I asked you in prepping for this interview is, what do you think somebody should do when they're leaving a company to prepare the company for success? And you had an interesting answer. You said, well, I didn't really have to do anything because I did all this stuff along the way.
Absolutely.
So what do you think somebody should be doing when they start as an in-house SEO?
So for me, one of the very first things that I look at is the foundations of the business and, what's the propositional process that they currently have in place for SEO. I'll try and understand where there may be gaps, and I'm talking, it could be gaps from SEO process right through to reporting at exec level. And what I find is I'll take the time out basically to prepare quite almost sustainable material that, irrelevant of me being there, that this material, any person almost replacing me can take my material and continue on the process. So I basically found myself building out a number of different documents and a number of different processes. And like I say, it was a pretty easy handover. There wasn't actually really much to do at all. It makes my life easy. The company doesn't have to worry. It's nice when you speak to your ex-team members and they're still following the similar processes as well. So, I've always been this kind of way from day one. I found in the early days in SEO that especially when I took on new members of staff, for example, you could be using a tool, right? And over a couple of sessions of using a tool, you tend to streamline, you become more efficient with the tool. But often that learning would be one-to-one with a new member of staff. So I basically found myself building out these process diagrams where I could take on a new member of staff, and it was almost a training manual. So I could say, guys, there's some material for you, follow this process to a T, and you'll have the most efficient way of doing what you need to do. And a key example for me was Word Tracker and keyword research. Back in 2006, it was a real cumbersome tool to use, right? Multiple pop-ups, but you knew the data was there. And I got so frustrated time and time again. And like I say, it was to the point where I took on a few new members of staff, and there you go, there's a manual. And then, naturally things evolve. So as times evolve, as strategy evolves, I'll also try and evolve the foundations at the same time. So I like to think, as static as an SEO strategy can be, I try to be as fluid as I can.